That was back in 2017, and then mid 2017, late 2017, got started with OA, did OA all through 2018, and then January of 2019 is when we started wholesale, and have been 100% wholesale ever since. So that's kind of how we got started.
What your timeline? So that's cool too. I remember we asked you this in the podcast as well. Can you walk through your revenue year by year?
Oh, as far as the revenue, yeah. So year one, which was 2019, year one of wholesale, which was 2019, 292K in revenue. Year two, 990K. Year three, I want to say year three was like 3.1 million, which would have been 2021. And then 2022 was 4.3. And then this year, 2023, we're on track to do just about the same, but our goal is a higher margin.
And I remember you saying that. That's awesome. That 2021 jump's crazy, man.
Yeah.
House for wholesale? No. However, you do need typically somewhere to get those products delivered to, which is either going to be your own warehouse or a third-party prep center warehouse. Right there.
So this guy said, Corey, you got to deal with that headphone company or what? If not, you should get on that. This is an Apple headphone, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that's the wholesale. My two favorite wholesalers I know wear those headphones. Actually,
who else?
Think about it. Sir Wi-Fi Astronaut.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, he's always rocking those.
I have a brand direct account with Apple.
That is not true. Okay, Jade said, who are you doing this live with? I'd love to follow them as well. Yes, so I'm doing this live with @BillyFlips_ on Twitter and at Ganem Corey or Corey Ganem. I can't remember.
Well, so it's right there on my name, like my name plate here.
She's on YouTube though, or she's on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So I actually don't have an Instagram for Amazon, but I am on Twitter @Ganem Corey. So just last name, first name.
Yep, same with YouTube as well. So just Corey Ganem on YouTube. So check him out on there. Process of your wholesale journey, A to Z. Open accounts, buy the products, get the products to Amazon, sell through the inventory, rinse and repeat right there. But that all starts with getting access to product, which comes from doing outreach to suppliers.
Corey, what's the biggest L you've taken on a shipment that got lost or something like that?
Well, not necessarily on a shipment that got lost, but a lot of seasonal stuff that we bought Christmas of last year. It was all Christmas candy. So one, it was meltable. Two, it was Christmas themed. And unfortunately, we didn't get it into FBA in time. So it was pretty much in transit the 2 weeks leading up to Christmas. So we got some of it there in time, sold through a lot of it, but I would say 3/4 of our Christmas inventory didn't get there in time. So we pretty much had to sell most of it at a loss or get a lot of it removed because it was meltable. And so we ended up eating, at least 10K, probably 10 to 20.
Oh, that's not
bad. But there's like these marine two-way radio headsets, but walkie-talkies, very high end. We bought 75K worth, and then 2 days later, the manufacturer drops the MAP policy. And so it was already like a pretty thin margin, but literally 2 days after we bought $75,000 worth, the price went from $200 to $195 to $190 to $180. And then we went from profiting $20 per unit to literally losing $12 per unit in the course of about 2 weeks. So, we obviously we didn't make all of our money back, but of that 75K that we spent, we probably got, 60 to 65 back. Like we lost a good amount. And that was on one SKU. Or I guess one product was a black and a blue.
It's something you can't really prevent from happening, right?
Yeah. No. That's the thing is like, I was hyped. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, we just went big on this one product. And like 2 days later, we were like, fuck.
It's like being an entrepreneur in a nutshell. What did you do when you first reach your restock limits? Yes, reach out to Amazon and request an increase. Now, that might not work, but over time, they are going to increase your limits. And what you can also do is you can control your pricing to audit, how quick the inventory you do buy stock. But I've been screwed by that in the past. Absolutely. You ever run into restock limit issues, Corey?
No. So at one point, really right when the whole COVID shutdown happened, we had pretty tight restock limits at that time. But since then, it hasn't really been an issue. But one thing I will add, so this is a tip for anybody that is hazmat eligible. So when we first got into the hazmat program, and when anybody first gets into the hazmat program, you have, I think it's only like 5, maybe like 10 cubic feet of aerosol and flammable storage, which are 2 different storage tiers. So some hazmat products are flammable, some are aerosol. And so that's not a whole lot of storage. And we went to buy one hazmat product. we went pretty deep on it, and we found out that we actually didn't even have enough aerosol storage to send it in. But what Amazon is willing to do is if you've already purchased hazmat inventory for sale on Amazon, you can send, or you can basically open a case like requesting higher hazmat limits, and then you can submit the invoice as long as you highlight the highlight the product in question and put the ASIN with it, like almost like Photoshop the ASIN in next to the product on the invoice. Then Amazon will determine that you bought that product for sale. They will give you higher hazmat limits. So we went from, I think it was 10 cubic feet to I think 100 or 150 cubic feet within, they granted the request within 2 days, and it was free. Like all we had to do was ask.
Okay, cool. Champ Sports good for ungating? Yes. Is Foot Locker good for ungating as well? Definitely. Right there. Yeah, just submit the email confirmation and you'll be good to go. Right there. My boy B Flips looking like the frat president now. He's aged like 3 years in like a year. Right there. He's looking like the type of dude who would be in I'd be in freshman year history and he'd be taking it to fill up like a gen ed requirement or whatever. And then I'd see him at the rec center one day and we'd run hoop and he'd be shocked that I'm stroking it from three like that.
That is okay. That's a really
and then from there on out, right, he knows I'm a shooter. So that's what he refers to me in class. Many such cases.
You look like the kind of guy who just got back from his camp counselor getaway and was making a bunch of boondoggle bracelets with all the kids in a big group circle.
Yeah. I did not expect you to go that direction.
Yeah, the guy that's been there for 10 years, started as a camper and then came back and did the whole thing up until 25.
Dude, honestly, being a camp counselor was my favorite job.
Oh, so you were a camp counselor. Corey, you give off that kind of vibe too, low-key.
Nope.
Okay, cool. What are strategies?
Corey would be a great camp counselor.
So use a repricer. If you want a free trial of the repricer I like to use, you can take a look at the link in the description. Be an FBA seller and be priced competitively, and make sure the product you're buying is something that's being sold by other sellers. Has Billy returned to the trenches? Oh, working on that.
There's an MF trench going on back here.
Yeah. Oh, are there those books right there? Oh.
Yeah, there are.
How do you get close up? Yeah, so just like we said, man, use a repricer, be priced competitively.
Well, and be an FBA seller, right? So FBA offers are going to get the buy box significantly more over FBM. And so somebody asked, Corey, do you have a warehouse or a prep center? So we use a prep center. We actually we have two primary prep centers, one in New York, one in Savannah, Georgia. And then we have a relationship with one here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina as well that we could use if we needed to.
Fire. I assume it's pretty quick, right? Isn't it an application process for hazmat? I can't remember.
So for hazmat, yeah. So I think you have to be invited to the program these days, or maybe you can apply. I think you can put your name on a wait list of some sort. There's some form to do that, but it is invite only at that point.
Yep. Storage fees. So yeah, when do storage fees kick in? I believe it's 90 days, right?
Yeah. So, I guess technically storage fees kick in after 30 days. But long-term storage fees kick in, I believe, after.
It's either 90
honestly, I should know this. I should know this, but I don't.
You shouldn't have to worry about that much if you're buying good inventory.
Well, that's the thing is, as long as you're sourcing inventory that's moving, that storage fees should be a relative non-issue.
Okay, I like this one. Oh, Michael's my boy too. I like this one. So, brands and Smart Scout. What are we thinking on that?
So hold on, what do you say? So I've been looking at brands and Smart Scout. Was wondering your workflow for creating lists in your CRM to apply and call up. So, for example, do you go through a certain category, search them all up on Google, apply to the ones you can, add them to CRM? So really all we do is, I don't know if you've seen one of my videos on YouTube where I go through Smart Scout and use it to pull out brand leads. So all I'm doing is I'm pulling out, or I guess I'm filtering a list to see, a short list of brands that meet a certain criteria. And then I'm opening each of those brands up in a new tab. I'm spot checking them, making sure that they are leads that I want to interact with. And then I'm looking up their contact information, putting that contact information in a Google Sheet. And once I have, 40 or 50 brands in the Google Sheet, that's when I'll sit down and call them or, reach out to them all at once. You see what I mean? So I like to segment it as find 40 or 50 brands, then call them, then find 40 or 50, then call them. So that way your pipeline is always getting filled.
Fire. How to sell gated products. So I have an ungated tutorial on YouTube. I'd recommend watching in terms of that. It's really, really easy. That's what's clutch. To scan products, do we need to pay the $40 per month? No. So you can actually source. You don't need you don't necessarily need, but in order to list products, you would need that Amazon subscription. So you might as well go ahead and get it. Everything I scanned at Walmart was gated. Luckily for you, my friend, you can very easily get ungated. Just watch the video I have on YouTube on that. Damn, we got some love going back and forth in the chat. That's what's up. Right there, 10% ROI is definitely not enough. You want to go way higher than that. Ooh, we got a little North Carolina love as well going on right here.
Yeah, I'm in Charlotte. right now.
10% is enough for Corey, though.
So it depends on the volume, really. I mean, a 10% ROI on something that I can sell 100 units per day, chances are I would take that. It depends on what like the dollar profit is, really. But there's a 10% ROI is not unheard of in wholesale. Let's put it that way.
But if you're new, you shouldn't be doing that.
No.
Higher ROIs. Yeah.
No.
How much money do you have sitting in inventory? I don't like to have more than like 200. I get a little when I got that much stuff. I think the max I had was like 300K, like mid-December probably. And right now I probably got like 125 or so. Corey, you probably got like $1 million, right?
No, I think we have between like 400 and 500 by cost
Yep.
in inventory.
Boy,
is that all in Inventory Lab?
Yeah, so Inventory Lab will show that, and Seller Board will show that as well.
Yeah, Seller Board. Right there. So Prep Center is a third-party warehouse that basically a service you can work with that'll prepare your inventory for you. Basically, if you're new, it's probably not going to make sense, but especially if you're in a state with high sales tax, once you're ready to send like 500 units per month or so, it can make sense to get one. If you want to learn kind of how that works or find a Prep Center, recommend going to prepcenter.com. They have a really nice list that you can take a look at, basically, on there. B Flips, a little health and household, right?
Yeah,
Billy's selling what I'm selling him. Corey's getting shut out of the buy box because he has a shitty.
Corey's tanking all my listings, basically.
No, but does he have tanking rights?
He does. That is true.
Yes.
I didn't even mark up the cost to you either, Billy. We have the same buy cost, so.
Okay, well, one of the buys I got regated on the way to the warehouse.
Yeah, that was unfortunate because that was our most profitable product of May.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think we averaged 100% ROI. We doubled our money on every unit.
And B Flips got gated.
And B Flips literally got gated in transit. Like his was prepped on units, like en route to FBA. And
they just said,
so then he has to get them removed and then sell that. He sold them to one of our buddies.
Yeah. Does in-store receipt work for Ungate? So yes, however, it might get declined a couple times. And I'll probably honestly just do an online receipt too for it. Yeah. So I like sourcing VAs from onlinejobs.ph. However, Upwork, Fiverr, those are all good sources as well.
Well, I think to touch on that real quick, it depends on what kind of work you need. So if it's just like a freelance project, like web design, logo design, graphic design, something like that, I would go to Fiverr and then just look for somebody that has a lot of reviews. But if it's somebody you need on a regular basis, either full-time or part-time, onlinejobs.ph, you're going to want to offer between $5 and $8 an hour, depending on the task and depending on how high quality of a candidate you want.
Okay. Within 30 days, 2 to 3 months or 6+ is really long.
Ooh, that's long. Our turns, I think our inventory turns right now is a 9 point something. So we're turning inventory every month.
As fuck with the amount of inventory you have. You guys are pumping stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but it's because a lot of stuff that we buy is high volume, but we can't get a lot of it. So it's like, we'll send in 100 units of something and that's like 2 days worth of inventory. So that skews our turns downward significantly. So we do have some products like that. But overall, we've gotten a lot better at managing our inventory, selling through stale stuff, and just in general being better inventory managers.
He also likes to drive prices to rock bottom.
I like to sell inventory. And if we're still making, like, again, you're complaining that we're taking that listing. So for example, there's a listing that Billy's on, that I'm on, again, a product.
Whoa. Let's not get personal here.
But listen, so he's complaining because I'm tanking the listing when in reality, I'm making $1.30, $1.40 profit per unit. I think it's like a 7 or 8% margin, but we sell 60 or 70 units per day and we have 2,000 or 3,000 units in stock. So Billy, I don't know why you would think I would hold my price like at any way that's going to be out of the buy box. You see what I mean?
Well, if you didn't have Bezos 1234,
Yeah.
you
Like,
would be way out of line. Let's just say.
What is Bezos 1234? I just
Somebody
have a feeling that
Somebody
if
false.
somebody, what are you talking about? I have a feeling it's,
read the tweet.
Now,
what if one of your boys shares the lead,
Now
he gets
who
tanking
finds
privileges.
that
Is that like what
listing?
that means?
Yes.
Now who
Okay,
finds
I just had a
that
feeling
lead?
that's what that meant.
Essentially,
Apps and software used daily to find. So just Keepa and SellerAmp are the main ones in terms of product research. So those are the ones you're going to use as a beginner. Eventually, you're going to use a repricer and something like Sellerboard as well. Basically, do you all work within a team or individually? Within a team, with friends, with virtual assistants, it's a lot easier when you get other people involved because it helps you avoid a lot of mistakes. It makes it a lot more fun and everything like that. So definitely, with other sellers as much as possible. Right there, cart closes. Okay, cool. Yeah. So Corey, you want to tell us a little bit about the wholesale challenge?
Yeah, so guys, for anybody that is not aware of what we have going on here, July 10th through July 17th. So I'm going to be running the wholesale challenge. I partnered with Chris Grant. Some of you guys might recognize him from the community, but what the wholesale challenge is going to be is it's going to be a 7-day live training where I'm going to teach you how to start, scale, and manage a fully remote 7-figure wholesale business. So one just like the one that I have, and it's going to be at least 2 hours every night for 7 nights straight. There's going to be Q&A. There's a lot of bonuses. And as soon as you sign up, you actually get access to the bonuses immediately. And so if you're interested in checking that out, you can just check it out at wholesalechallenge.com. And I know Miles and Billy are both affiliates of the challenge. So I think they might have a discount they'd want to share.
Yeah. So if you use the code, I believe it's Miles100, it's also in the description, and you email me at my email in the description, I will send you some OA leads right there. What's your prep center cost? It's about to be like nothing. What is it? Like 75 cents?
So it depends on the type of prep required. So if it just needs an FNSKU, they're going to be competitive with Amazon's rates. And so how Amazon charges 55 cents per unit for an FNSKU, our prep center charges just about the same if that's all it needs. But if it's a bundle, multi-pack, bubble wrap, poly bag, things like that, it can get well over $1 per unit or per ASIN.
Why don't more people just do it the Amazon rate?
Because it's annoying. They take a while. It goes to different.
Well, because your supplier has to be willing to ship direct to Amazon. Think about it that way.
Yeah. I don't. Are you going to be doing it annually? I don't plan to get into wholesale. Honestly, Mia, with how quickly you're moving with stuff, just like seeing you on Twitter and everything, I think you'll probably be doing it sooner than that. Honestly, but I'm curious if you guys have plans. I assume there's none right now for another one.
So yeah, well, we definitely will not be offering it again in 2023. But the good thing about it is if you do sign up for it this time, you're going to have lifetime access to the recordings. So even if you don't show up for any of the sessions, you'll have the recordings a year from now whenever you're ready to get into it.
Thoughts on? All right, great way to make money. Online arbitrage and wholesale are better in my opinion, but the nice thing is everything works. Everything works. Period. You just have to work. Basically, tips on scaling to 10K months. It's really, really simple. Honestly, just
buy more stuff.
Yeah, buy good inventory, sell through it, rinse and repeat. Basically, sure, it's going to take a while to get the snowball rolling, but we've seen it time and time again, especially with back to school season coming up. It's going to be incredibly easy to really be able to execute nicely on a bunch of good product. Basically, like B Flips did last year for back to school, like I did 2 years ago for back to school. It's like the coming out party. Basically, you remember that one backpack link we bought for like 21 a piece, and then we just cranked them at like 60 right there? That was lit. It was very, very lit. We are soaking up the blue light, but we also we have nice natural light coming through. Right now.
Yeah, it's too early. It's only 5:30. Don't need to block the blue light just yet.
Doing 40K a month, should I get into wholesale? I think absolutely.
You certainly can.
Yeah, it's up to you. I mean, you're probably at the point where you can totally scale with what you're doing currently too. I'd say OA caps around like 200 to 300K per month to where your skill set translates a lot better. However, you might have some really easy ins into the wholesale industry as well. So I definitely think you should consider it.
Well, and real quick, so here's a way to start in wholesale doing almost nothing different from what you're already doing in your OA business. So you've got obviously products in your OA business that you're selling. Look at the brands of those products and then just Google those brands, call them up, and you can even tell them, say, hey, we've been selling, X amount of this product per month. And then we'd like to open a wholesale account directly with you guys to start buying in bulk or something like that. And so that way, just start with trying with the brands that you already have, that you're already selling.
All right, Corey, pull that I just send you the title for that video. Pull a little clip or just remake that video right after this for Twitter.
Oh,
Speed,
yeah, I like that.
wait, speed. That was a good clip right there. How to start wholesale on Amazon without changing anything, baby. The creative juices are flowing. It's a beautiful day in Miami. We're making money. Let's get after it. Right there. How do you go about sourcing school products? I mean, just reverse source. Yeah, Jason. So the nice thing is reverse sourcing from products like backpacks, crayons. You're going to be able to see other types of products people are selling for back to school. As well, I would recommend looking into using Kiva Product Finder and searching for products that are increasing in price and increasing in demand. So where the sales rank's going down. The nice thing is you can pretty much remove all the guesswork, basically, and see that right there. Flips, I'm coming up. Yeah. Oh, Papa Wi-Fi. I'll send you the invite.
Are you buying any seasonal stuff, Corey, right now?
Not really. Mm-mm.
Yeah, seasonal stuff is great, but like so many people would be better served just focusing on their bread and butter, doing more of it.
How did you fund your wholesale business, Corey? OA profits? No. So I actually never really made that much money doing OA at all. So when I transitioned, into wholesale, I was working a corporate job at the time. So I put up 10,000 in capital. My dad put up 10,000 in capital. And then once we kind of started to get the ball rolling, he put in another 10,000. And then we haven't put in any more of our own money since then. We did get the EIDL loan back in, what was that? 2020?
Big bailout guy right there.
But no, so that's not the PPP. We didn't get the PPP because we don't have any domestic employees aside from myself. But we did get the EIDL, which was, I think, 124K. And it's like a 30-year note, and the interest rate is like 2 something.
Yeah,
so
that's free money. That's bros 10xing inflation.
Yeah. And then we have a line of credit with our bank as well.
Fire. Tips on managing cash flow while using credit cards. Yes. So use the Amex Plum card, which is a 60-day payback period, FBM as much as possible, and take a few months, ideally prior to leveraging, and really understand how quick the products you're selling are selling so you can get a sense of how to estimate that. Because you can get in trouble very quickly if you're buying products that aren't selling.
And so another tip on managing cash flow, especially if you're doing wholesale. So at least a lot of our business involves back orders. So we've got a lot of money that has been spent, but we haven't gotten the product yet. And obviously we haven't sold through it yet. So for us, a big part of managing our cash flow comes down to knowing how much money we have committed and then making sure that we have enough cash in the bank at all times to pay for those orders upfront if we need to, or if we have terms with those suppliers, then we can be a little more flexible.
Will Wi-Fi actually come upstairs? Let's find out. I don't believe it, but he said he was going to in the chat. There is a chance a wild Wi-Fi comes through that door over there. Remains to be seen. Right there. Can you open 2 accounts from the same household? I definitely wouldn't recommend it. You can. However, there's very strict guidelines you need to follow, and I don't know exactly what they are, and I don't want you to get banned, so I wouldn't do it if I were you. Okay, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Yeah, that's a very good way to look at it. I have Amex Gold. Should I get Amex Platinum? Not really. I mean, it's not going to do anything too much different. You're just going to have to pay like a $500 annual fee, and you can go to a really crowded airport lounge.
And if you're a traveler, you also get, I think it's like $250 a year in Uber credits, $200 a year in Wi-Fi credits.
Just buy more product. Just buy more product.
Yeah, you don't need the platinum. It's nice to have though.
That is true. Thanks, guys. One last one. What's your average profit? I like that. Yeah, well, it was. I assume it's pretty high, right? Your ASP is pretty high.
So our average profit margin per item, I guess we shoot for around like 10% growth, or I guess recently we've been getting about 10% growth. We don't shoot for that. So margins have actually been down a little bit, but as far as our average sale price, I want to say, yeah, I mean, I could check Inventory Lab, but probably in the $40 to $50 range.
That's high.
Maybe a little lower, this month than last month because of some of the stuff that we've been selling.
Makes sense. Yeah, are you going to the AMZ United thing in August?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Fire. Yeah. We're going to be on the big bender from ASD right now.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that ASD is right before that.
Oh, yeah. We going to Sinatra's, Corey?
Of course. Absolutely. 100%.
What is that? What is that?
It's the Italian restaurant in the Encore, and they have the best chicken parm I've ever had in my life. And you have to reserve it. You have to literally call them in advance and reserve the chicken parm like a couple days in advance.
Fire. All right. Well, I'm in, man. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, it's good. Billy was like 20 minutes late, actually probably 30 minutes late to the dinner last time.
I think it was
And his
like
phone
45.
died. And we were like, and I never met him in person before. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy's deal? Like, why? Just like standing us up at this dinner, not answering his phone.
Well, long story short, my phone was dead and some other things happened that weren't ideal. But I did give Corey a gift.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
how many different things use for? I'm gonna probably just remove you if you keep commenting that right there. How did your first 6 months look for each of you? Billy was deep in the trenches flipping books. Then he got a credit card and Chad scaled to the moon. But yeah, seriously, I mean, the nice thing is you can go back and watch Billy's and I's. You can scroll back on his Instagram. You can scroll back on my Instagram right there. I was doing a lot of FBM with my friends that I do my podcast with. So we were sharing leads the whole time basically. So I did like 300K in sales, 60K profit. My first 6 months. What about you, Corey? Well, wholesale mainly, which is like, when you're seeing significant change.
Yeah. So let's see. First 6 months of wholesale, I guess would have been, if that first year we did like 290K in revenue, we're probably like 150K in revenue at that point. First 6 months. And honestly, I have no idea what the profit was. It probably wasn't much because we didn't have a good handle on our margins. A lot of the products we were selling were lower margin. So probably break even, to be completely honest.
So never worry about Amazon's recommendations of stock. Mia, like really don't even look at it, honestly. Basically.
Corey, I just sent my men to rock bottom for that listing, by the way.
Oh, really?
What sourcing methods you use? Probably you want to run through a little bit, Corey, on different wholesale outreach methods?
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as finding products, he's asking specifically. So when it comes to finding
suppliers. Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to finding suppliers, the best way to find suppliers, if you're going brand direct, is to use Smart Scout to reverse source brands to reach out to. And then if you're looking for distributors, the best way to do that is either call brands you're interested in and ask them who their distributors are in your area, or use Google to find distributors in your area in a specific niche, right? I don't like to usually work with like large general distributors. I like to work with kind of smaller or regional niche distributors. But as far as finding specific products, again, I like reverse sourcing manually, not using a UPC scanner, and I like using Smart Scout for reverse sourcing products as well.
Yeah, and in terms of OA, I'd say just reverse sourcing with SellerAmp, keep a product finder, and then occasionally manually sourcing as well. Okay, I like this one. Supplier or product first?
Good question. So what's up?
I actually came upstairs.
I saw you looking at him for like 3 minutes.
Yeah. Say what's up to the chat.
Yo,
man.
what up?
Yo.
Oh, that's lit. They gave you extra stock. That's super lit right there. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably took 10 away from someone
else.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hold on, I want to answer that question. So he said, do you look for the supplier or the product first? So it depends. So there's been times where we've started to look for a supplier in a particular niche. And so we started with the supplier, and then we found some brands and some products from that supplier. There have been other times where we're selling a product and it's going great, and our main supplier doesn't have it, or the price goes up, or for whatever reason. So then we go looking for that specific product from another supplier.
Is there a way to see how much shipping will be before you sell an FBM product? So what's nice, Jason, is you can actually estimate shipping costs based on the weight. So you can see on SellerAmp how much a product weighs, basically, right? And then this is a good pro tip for any of you guys. The nice thing is you're just kind of going to eventually memorize the weights, right? But if you need to ever estimate for a specific one exactly, you can do that via pirateship.com. And then anyone watching, just write this down as well. So from 0 to 4 ounces is going to be like $3.50, $4. From 5 ounces to 7 ounces is going to be like $4 to $5 range. From 8 ounces to 11 ounces is going to be like $5.50 range. And then from 12 ounces to 15 ounces is going to be $6.50 range, $5.50 range if it's a pretty close date to you. And then above 1 pound is going to be like $9 to $13, like 11 average, basically. The sub 1 pound is going to be USPS first class, typically, and the above 1 pound is typically going to be UPS ground, right there. Cool. All right. Very good. Yeah, homie said, "What's good Wi-Fi?" That's love right there. When you scale, does the ROI drop? It's up to you. It depends how you want to scale. Do you want to keep spending a bunch of time finding products, or now that you have more capital available, do you want to take more low-hanging fruit, right? It's completely up to you in that regard, but typically it'll drop a little bit. Yeah.
So Tommy Boy Beats about to place my first wholesale PO. The company does have liftgate services. We have a garage unit inside of our apartment. Is the typical LTL freight under 53 feet? So if you're ordering, it really depends. I mean, honestly, it depends on the company. I think it depends on like the route, like what other customers are near you, whether they need to send a full trailer. Because my guess is that you're not probably buying a full trailer's worth. That's tough. I mean, you're just going to have to hope, or I mean, really call the supplier, and if they're arranging the freight, you can tell them, just explain the situation and make sure that they send a truck that's small enough to fit into, or I guess to fit into wherever they need to fit. And then obviously make sure that liftgate is going to be there as well.
Damn, that's dope though. That the apartment has. Oh, I thought he said apartment has a liftgate. I was going to say that's sick, right there.
That's grinding right there though. The dude's literally getting pallets delivered to the apartment. Like
that's what dreams are made of, man. Like shout out to you, Tommy. Invoices for ungating. Just submit the order confirmation emails. Right there. How much do you, so when you're looking to ungate something, you need 10 plus of that product. So a minimum of 10 to get the ungate done, basically. Cool. And then so we got another minute or two. So if you had any questions for Wi-Fi or myself or B-Flips right there or Corey, fire away. Where can people follow you on Twitter?
Wi-Fi astronaut with 2 T's,
baby. Yes, sir. 2 T's. What up? Oh, my boy Max in the building.
Corey, you're in Miami, right?
Nope.
No, I'm in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Dude, why did I think Corey was in Miami? Why did I think he was in Miami?
Miles keeps trying to get. He's like, "When you coming down? When you coming down?"
Oh, dude, you
got to get a bucket too.
I know. I'm definitely gonna come down and visit soon. Yeah, we'll have to play ball for sure.
How tall are you?
6'3".
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I haven't played in a while. I'm retired from basketball.
Are you at least rim grazing though?
Fuck no. I haven't played, dude. I haven't touched a basketball in probably 2 years. Actually, no. 2 years is when I tore my patellar tendon. I probably haven't touched a basketball in like 2.5 years.
Damn. So that means your offer kit, the sales rank skyrocketing.
My sales rank is in the millions right now.
I'm gonna start
in the books category.
Oh, okay. Well, that actually moves. Okay. Just moved to Charlotte. That's what's up. Cool. All right, everyone. So thank you guys for hopping on. Wi-Fi scrubbing that banana right there. Make sure you follow all these guys on socials right there. Check out the wholesale challenge if you want to. Once again, if you use the coupon and the link in the description and you email me using the link in the description, I will send you a couple OA leads tomorrow morning right there. But we appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Follow everyone here on socials right there and have a great day.
I'll see you guys.
Good to see you, boys.
Cool. Take it easy, everyone. Thanks a lot. Cool.